Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm just multitasking a little bit today. It's my second live stream of the channel. It'll get better. I need to get a better camera. That's just the camera inside my computer, so it's a little bit fuzzy. But you see, I got my Starvinity shirt going on here. You can get that on the Starvinity Proud Heretic. But this is my second live stream, so we'll see how these go. Just having a bit of lunch and coffee again. But it's going to be a random live stream. Be talking about a lot of stuff, and I'll be multitasking, creating more Starvinity content and writing a little bit. But and eating my lunch. Hopefully it doesn't bother anybody. But let's talk. I have a healthy lunch here. Salad, yummy, yummy salad. But actually, I probably shouldn't multitask, should I? Actually, this live stream might not last very long. I'll probably just do it for like 20 minutes. But anyways, let's talk about some of the inspirations behind Starvinity again. As I've said before, I've posted a lot of inspirations, but I said before in my first live stream that I was inspired a lot by Star Wars, but also by Star Trek and so many other sci-fis. As a kid, I would my dad was really into Star Trek. Like Star Trek was his favorite, so he had me watch the original Star Trek series. I've probably watched the original Star Trek series at least 5 times all the way through. Not one time, but like at least 3 times. At least 3 to 5 times. Actually, I was just watching the original Star Trek series just last year. I think I finished the whole season 1. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. It'll never, you can never go wrong with classic sci-fi. The stuff that actually started it all. Star Trek, Flash Gordon, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, classics. Never gonna get old. Never gonna get old. But so inspirations. Those are all inspirations. Like when you watch it so many times, it you come to appreciate more and more. I think so. Those are a huge inspiration. All these sci-fis that I've watched and read books, and there's just so many. But Star Wars and Star Trek are the 2 main inspirations, and Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. If you watch the original Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, the older ones, it's amazing stories. Classic sci-fi. They just don't make them like that anymore. These in-depth philosophical episodes just try and challenge the status quo society and the norms and so forth. So, anyone that stops by this live stream or watches it later on, I appreciate it. Leave comments in the comment section of what you would like me to talk about or hear or discuss or, go back and forth. What's your favorite sci-fi? I would love to hear your comments, all kinds, like, any sci-fi, any and all. Ender's Game, Honorverse, anything, Hyperion series. Oh, that's a good one. It's a shame that a lot of these have not been turned into films or TV shows or video games more so. I mean, I don't think there's any Honorverse, at least new games that I could think of, Probably the most recent video games I've played in the sci-fi universe would be Star Trek, Star Wars, and Warhammer 40,000. I play a lot of Warhammer 40,000 games. No, I haven't gotten into the board games too much. Just it's just too expensive. Too many house bills. I might get into it eventually because I was really into Risk as a kid too. Sometimes we'd play a Risk board game for days or weeks. We had a couple Risk games that lasted probably 2 weeks. So, it's not the same as, the in-depthness of Warhammer 40,000 and how, the different characters and the powers. Like, Risk is a very basic game, but it's like, the dice, you roll the dice, but it's a very, very different, it's not as in depth as, something as good as Dungeons and Dragons or, Warhammer 40,000 or, I'm not too sure. Does Warhammer 40,000 have any kind of RPG um, board games like Dungeons and Dragons? I wonder if anybody ever plays those. I wonder if there's any Warhammer 40,000 Dungeons and Dragons style RPG journeys. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about eventually, probably not anytime soon, but I intend to make a Dungeons and Dragons style game within Starvinity universe. It's going to take a while, but that's one element. Of course, like I said in my first live stream, that the vision is always bigger than the resources available to most people. Yeah, most of us as creators or sci-fi fans, the majority of us do not have the resources to create what we envision. There's so many of us that have visions of creating and what we create, and those creations, they can consume us in a way. I'm sure, like, I had many friends who created their own sci-fi universes or fantasy universes, magic. A lot of friends who are really into Harry Potter, the magic systems and that. And it's just creating your own universe is a complicated thing, and actually, getting out there to the world is the complicated thing. The first step is creating it, and it's even harder to try to get out to the world. But to other sci-fi creators out there who haven't yet gotten their sci-fi universes or fantasy universes out there to the world, don't give up. Always continue to get it out there. But again, this is only my second live stream, so it's not going to be as fine-tuned as a lot of these other big creators. But if you look at almost any big creator, even Mr. Beast, his first videos were not the best. Let's just say that. Every live stream and videos and channels that start out, especially when they first start out, I know it's 2024, like, I should be, having the perfect editing, the perfect, but I keep trying to tell myself, and I've seen lots of videos over time, that if you try to always go for perfection, eventually you'll never do it. You'll never finish it. You'll never try it. Getting these videos out there, and these basic videos, just pictures and some music that I've gotten for free online. They're not what I want Starvinity to be in the future. In the future, I have a huge vision, but like I said before, you have to start somewhere. And I've been procrastinating for years and years, and I finally just decided to just do it. Just stop procrastinating and do it. As Shia LaBeouf would say, just do it. Just do it. But as time, I will get better. I know I will. In time, others will. I hope I can find others who are as passionate with sci-fi and their own creations as I am about Starvinity. I created Starvinity. I started when I was a kid. The name Starvinity I did not create, but the universe of Starvinity I started probably when I was 8 or 9, because I was so in love with Star Wars and Star Trek and all these other sci-fis that were just a huge part of my life, that I started creating. I actually had, when I was younger, I always doodle and draw, right? And I had just huge, just thousands of pages of characters going through different planets, and I would do like storyboards. The art wasn't very good back then, but I would literally have thousands of pages, storyboards, that had my characters go through different planets. They would warp to different planets. They would teleport themselves, and then they would teleport themselves to another planet and find aliens, and then they would, go find a submarine and go like the 20,000 leagues under the sea and find treasures and new alien cities under the water. And I was making that even before, because I watched, I made that one about them going underneath the water and finding cities. Those storyboards when I was probably 6. That was interesting because I enjoyed all those classical movies. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's a good one. The original Disney 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the old one. That one is a classic. If you haven't seen that one, watch it. That's a good movie. And the book too. Read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's a good sci-fi book. But when I was a kid, I would make these storyboards, right? Creating new universes and a storyline with different characters going through, right? Different planets, different places. And there would be, that was fun. And it was before Star Wars Episode 1 came out. You might think it was like an inspiration to make the underwater cities, but the inspiration to those underwater cities came from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. There's a scene in that original movie, that old Disney 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, where Captain Nemo takes the submarine down, and they show the people that they've taken prisoner Atlantis, the ruins of Atlantis. And the ruins of Atlantis were just mesmerizing as a really young kid. I really enjoyed that, that concept, But my problems with my original storyboards is, they were totally random. I mixed together every single universe and movie and story I'd ever read or seen. The original Star Wars, the original trilogy, the original Star Trek series, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, concepts that, the characters on these storyboards would go to. I mean, it was bad art back then, but, as a kid, I'd make like a scene where they would go to like just a regular city and go to a diner and meet aliens, and then they would teleport and go to another planet and find treasure, and they'd go teleport to another place and they'd get magic, or they would find alien alliances and they would fight these other people, and then they would, battle and so forth and so forth. So many different things. But that's how these universes started as a kid. The fine tuning of all my ideas started probably when I was in my late teens. I would say probably 16, 17, around there, the fine tuning of where I started writing notes for the stories. Starvinity, the storyline came, around that time when I was 16. The basic beginning outlines of what I wanted to do. It's changed since then because, now I'm 34. So 16 to 34, and I published the first book in my first book in the Starvinity universe. Like I said in the first stream, The Shadows of Liberty in the Tasm Saga, the Tazm, Tasm. I know it's Tasm, I'm sure other people could pronounce it better than I could, but I even created myself, but I have a lisp, so what you gonna do? But I published that first book, like I said, in 2020, and I was pretty positive about it. Some people said they liked it. The majority said it was a bit too wordy and was too long, but it wasn't that long. It was like 160,000 words or something like that. But compared to a lot of there's some modern books that are a lot shorter, And after that, Amazon decided to cancel my publishing account out of the blue, like so many other self-published authors. They just erased it. I had it for 10 years. I had that account for 10 years. And I published many other, poetry books when I was younger. College days. In my college days, I published a lot of poetry. And then, so I had that for 10 years. The account was open for over 10 years, right? And then they just decided to erase the entire account, like in 2022. So I had the book on there for like 2 years. I had some sales, some advice, some. So now that first book is out of publication because of Amazon. I haven't started a different account. I can't start on Amazon. They've blocked me entirely. So I'm probably going to go through Lulu or Ingram Spark or some other self-publishing. I've never sent. Oh no, I probably should send my stories and my books to publishers, but it's so unlikely. It doesn't happen too often. But yeah, NASA mug here with my coffee. Some people might be against NASA. I'm not entirely, but I do believe in a lot of the conspiracies, especially about them changing the photographs of alien encounters and Mars and the moon. I think the government knows a lot of things that they don't tell us. There's a lot of very interesting channels out there, especially like if you ever heard of. It's mostly there's so many interesting channels about aliens. The Y Files. The I watch him a lot. The Astral Legends. That's an interesting channel. They have some interesting alien ideas. They write them. I think they make their videos based on books that people wrote and their experiences and so forth. There's a lot of different conspiracies, but I still like NASA. At least they made the space shuttle. At least they went to the moon. At least I think they went to the moon. Of course, there's the conspiracy that we never went to the moon, but I think we went. We went to the moon, but I think that they've. What bugs me a lot about NASA is that they destroyed the Saturn rocket. They destroyed the blueprints. That's so annoying. And they never built I forget the name of it, but it was supposed to be the shuttle's replacement in the 90s. It was like a very high tech looking space plane, but that upset me when they didn't make it. It broke my heart. Scientifically, because I love that design. I think it's in the opening credit. No, it's not. No, it's not. Or is it? It's in the opening credits of maybe Star Trek Enterprise. Maybe I'm not sure. But that. But yeah, I like NASA, especially if they pay Elon Musk to build the Starship. Going back to the moon. That's exciting. Elon Musk's Starship. That's exciting stuff going on. But the where was I? Oh yeah, just NASA stuff. But where was I? I was just going on a tangent, talking about randomness. I totally forgot where I was talking before. Now I'm thinking about all the conspiracies and why the Y files and Hecklefish and so forth. But Starvinity. Okay, the inspiration. So Amazon. Oh yeah, Amazon canceled my account. So that was a bit of a bummer. It was very kind of like because so many self-published authors were canceled. Their accounts completely erased. How dirty is that? They say that they promote and that they care about small creators and people who have new ideas. Yeah, right. They've canceled thousands of accounts, thousands, probably tens of thousands, maybe more. I don't know, but I've seen so many videos of small writers being their accounts completely erased. Even people who have dozens of books already completely erased, just out of the blue, and they don't explain. It's probably some stupid algorithm or some computer program, some AI that just decides to erase people's accounts out of the blue for no reason. They say they have reasons, but if they're not going to tell you the reason, there's no reason. That's ridiculous. If they don't tell you the reason, they shouldn't erase your account. They should tell you the reason why they're erasing your account. So that was that discouraged me a little bit. You know, so many other authors and so many creators have been discouraged through YouTube or Amazon or any other creative, outlet, getting their Facebook ads erased or pages erased or blocked here, blocked there. You try to create, and you don't know what will be allowed and what won't. And sometimes you try your best to follow the rules, but you can't follow the rules perfectly. You can never follow it perfectly because those rules, they're literally hundreds of pages long. Who reads the entire rules list of some of these sites? Like, the terms of service, they're dozens to hundreds of pages long. It would take weeks to finish some of these rule sections of, the terms of service. They should have more basic terms of service. But Starvinity, I'm just rambling. I don't know. But I decided to just go with it. I will self-publish these books. The first beginning, like I said in my first live stream, the Tasm Saga will have 12 books in it, the main one, and I might have multiple smaller novelettes or novellas within the Tasm Saga, but the first 12. And I have a storyline that I could create, another 12 to 20 books within the Tasm Saga, but I don't know if I will or not. It depends on if people like the Tasm Saga as much as I like it, then I will finish writing the other ones and add more. I could probably write. The problem is I have 3 jobs right now. 3 jobs. I have a 2-year-old son, and I have another son on the way. So life is busy, but life is busy for most people, And you could be saying, like, why the heck am I even on a live stream right now? Well, I want to create Starvinity. I want Starvinity. I've already created it. I want to share it. I want others to know about it. And I know that there are others who are like me, who want to find a new sci-fi and eventually appreciate the new sci-fi. My dream is a very complex dream for Starvinity. My dream is to make it bigger than Star Wars. Like I said in the first video, I don't think it will become as big as Star Wars, but I want it to be bigger than Star Wars in the sense of more movies, more TV shows, eventually more, web stream, more games. I want it to become a universe that others can appreciate eventually. Right now, I'm a super small channel. I have 11 subscribers right now. So, I know it's 2024, I should have started this a long time ago, but today I will stop procrastinating. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going out into the world and trying, but hopefully the YouTube doesn't erase this channel, because I've tried before multiple YouTube channels and they've completely erased them out of the blue. They won't give me the reasons why. That's an annoying thing. I've started multiple other YouTube channels trying to share my views and things about like movies and stuff, because I'm really into movies too. I'm really into movies and filmmaking. And I made a couple channels, and they didn't tell me why they erased my channel. I had like over 100 videos on that channel. I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours of editing and talking about movies and my passions. I had maybe 200 or 300 subscribers, and they just erased my channel. They just erased it. They didn't say why. It's like, oh, you broke the terms of service. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. So hopefully this time they won't destroy this channel. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm doesn't say, oh, look, it's a little script. Oh, they posted too many tags, or they posted too many of these, or they did this. They shared it too much. You're sharing too much. We can't have you sharing. You need to pay us ad revenue, even though we're already making hundreds of billions of dollars a year, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions. We need your $50 ad revenue or whatever, You're a $10, whatever. They want you to pay them to promote your posts and your videos and your ads. I'm not against businesses. I'm not against Google or YouTube. I'm not against them. But I just wish that they would allow smaller creators a little bit of leeway, just a little bit of breathing room. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of space to allow them to create a little bit, Luckily, for some reason, the first channel, I guess I got like a couple strikes on music, but it was like free music. And I posted that there was free music. Hopefully they don't strike me on this channel, because right now they're saying, I don't know, I think it was like the first channel I made, it was like some music, but it was free, but some person from like Italy or something said it was their music, which I don't even know if it was or not, but they striked my channel, and YouTube just, striked me a couple times on that song. I don't even remember what it was, but I'm not against YouTube or Google. Just I wish they would have some people and AI in the system that gave smaller creators a little bit of breathing room, just a little bit extra, at least I can live stream, we'll see how it goes, fingers crossed, but I will get better. I'm wearing my nifty little Grogu hat. My wife bought it for me, because I like Star Wars. I still like Star Wars. I much prefer the originals first, then the prequels. And there's so many people are against the sequels, and I am too. I don't like the sequels at all. But there's about, I don't know, I would say 10 or 15 minutes in the movies that I enjoy, cinematography wise. They could be so much better. But I mean, there's like 10 or 15 minutes each one. I actually got a pretty good deal, because I'm into I'm into collecting movies and Blu-rays and DVDs. I probably have around 500 Blu-rays, and I'm in here in my basement right now. I'll probably show my Blu-ray collection, all the inspirations. I don't have too many, but some of my inspirations, Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, of course, Star Treks. I have quite a few other sci-fis, but I have a sizable collection. I probably have another 500 DVDs, but I like lost my train of thought again. I don't think about movies and that YouTube channel that got erased, but I want to share. I want this channel to be mainly focused on Starvinity. These live streams will probably get better. I'm probably going to be more focused in the future. I'm just trying to get myself out there so people see who I am, and maybe start understanding, why I created Starvinity in the first place. Future live streams, I'll get more into details, more into the exact reasons I'm making Starvinity. There is. Yeah, I was talking about Star Wars and the new sequels. A lot of people are against them. A lot of people are against, the modern making of sci-fi, because the storylines are not as good as they used to be. The originals will always be the best, I think. But I really like the prequels too. I really enjoyed them. The thing is about the prequels and the originals is the originals, George Lucas had a lot more people around him who I think who helped him edit. Because if you look at the original, George Lucas was really into Flash Gordon. And if you look at some of the original parts of the original trilogy before it was edited, there's so much talk that's so close to Flash Gordon, right? Like techno babble talk that's it's almost identical to Flash Gordon, some of the talk. If you look at the unedited original first draft of Star Wars, I've seen not the first draft, but I've seen some clips of the first draft and some deleted scenes of Star Wars. And Star Wars probably would not have been as famous as it became if it wasn't edited so well. It was edited down to, I think, perfection. I think the original Star Wars, the first New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back was edited down to perfection. I think they're masterpieces, and I think if other people watched them and actually saw like every scene that went by, like there's not a scene in New Hope or Empire Strikes Back that is not needed. Every scene is perfect, I think, and it just flows so well. You know, the I really enjoy the Return of the Jedi a lot, and of course I loved it as a kid. But the more I watch it when I get older, the more the some parts don't really mix with the rest. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's not as some of the editing, which goes into the prequel trilogy. Some of it, the prequel trilogies, is very, very Flash Gordon, and I love all sci-fi. I like Flash Gordon. I like Buck Rogers. I like all those old sci-fis. I enjoy the Twilight Zone, the Outer Limits. The prequel trilogy is a very Flash Gordon-y, Shakespearean. It is very. People say it's terrible. Well, they just don't enjoy Shakespeare probably, or Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon is a very different kind of sci-fi. It's very more so, fantasy, like Star Wars is fantasy, but like Flash Gordon is very, I would say almost Shakespearean in a way, especially the original Flash Gordon TV show. They're in their, their garb, their, I would say like, they're almost medieval clothes. Some of the characters are like in medieval, probably just cheaper. It's probably cheaper to have those props that they've already had in other TV shows or something, or movies. But the prequel trilogy of Star Wars is very, very Flash Gordon-y. The style, the ships, the talk, even, and the way it feels. It feels very Flash Gordon. But of course, it's unique and new. The worlds that George Lucas made. I really like the prequels. I really enjoy them. Though, because I was I think 8 or 9 when Episode 1 came out, 8 or 9. So I have a bit of a different, outlook on it than some other fans of Star Wars who, might have been a little bit older at the time when the prequels came out. They were in love with how the originals were made and how the prequels were so different. But Starvinity is, I would say, most inspired by Star Wars. Most inspired. Yeah, in a sense, the two is that there are powers. There's magic. Some sci-fi fans are not into the magic part of sci-fi, sci-fi fantasy, but I really like powers and abilities. And I would say Star